All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of MCU Rewatch Analysis. Man, I know last week you guys got treated with a pretty good analysis of Ragnarok, but this week is extra special because it also commemorates in memoriam for the dude himself, the king, Prince King T'Challa, aka Mr. Chadwick Boseman. Oh, man, such a tragic, unexpected, untimely loss. Caught me off guard. Did it catch you off guard?
Who knew? Like,
Facts.
right?
Yeah, facts. Who
Nobody
knew?
knew. Nobody knew.
I didn't know. I literally read the title of the article or the announcement, and it just didn't make sense. Had no
Yeah,
idea
no.
that he had cancer.
Yeah,
Um, Even though we should have known because there were multiple clues as to how this man looked the days or I guess weeks or months before that. And I just wish that it didn't happen, man. You know, the battle against cancer
yeah,
is something that's been going around for years, and it doesn't matter how healthy you are. Uh, Cancer just kills, you know,
yep.
and it's hard, right? This was colon cancer, which is the most common type of cancer among men. So this wasn't something that could have been prevented. This is something,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, he should have ate more of this, ate more of that. No, this is something that just comes, man.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's not like lung cancer where, smoking can be an influence on it. Colon cancer is deadly among men.
yep.
I mean, women get it too, but statistics shows that most men have
Yeah,
it.
why is that? Why is that?
I'm not sure.
It's
I'm not really
crazy.
sure. A lot of things work differently between men and women. As much as women like to uh, equalize themselves with us. Did you know that when women get heart attacks or cardiac arrests, they don't feel it?
Really?
Yeah, they're like, it's like, oh, a little back pain. Oh, that's nothing. No, you need to go to the hospital right the fuck now. Guys are
Why?
dramatic as fuck. They're like, oh my god, ah, right?
That's true, because I always, like, my old uncles,
Mm-hmm.
when you hear them, like, pull something,
Mm-hmm.
it's always,
Ponggeta, putang ina, anak ng pucha.
yeah, and all my titas have always been like, ooh, oh, oh,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Okay, I'm learning something new today.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
a weird thing to bring up for a call. Shit. Did you look that up because you have back pain?
No, well, yes, a little bit because they said that
That's
I was looking up and I said my back hurts when I cough,
yeah.
and then it said it could be lung cancer, but then they said you also have intense diarrhea, and I was like, didn't have that.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay. And
so
then you saw it in like a sub article or something.
I actually learned the thing about women from Niccolo.
Huh?
Yeah, because he's the one who
How does he
told
know
me.
that?
Because he was in sciences back then. This was like back in college days,
Oh,
which he had an argument with his girlfriend because of that too, which is hilarious.
which one? The white one?
Yeah, you remember her.
I only met her once, and I was like, Nicolo.
Yeah, she was. He was telling her that, oh, women sometimes they can't feel the heart attack. They could just be sitting there knitting, and then they just think it's back pain. And she's like, why does she have to be knitting, huh? Why can't she be like,
Oh,
yeah? And I was like, that's not the point of the
well,
story. Fuck.
that's actually hilarious.
Yeah. Shout outs to her wherever she is right now,
Yeah,
and shout outs to Nicolo,
yeah. Who is married?
who's married
Good
to
job.
not the same woman.
Good, because as a Filipino person
Mm-hmm.
or a non-white person,
Mm-hmm.
I have bigger problems to care about than choosing the right, like, imaginary situation shit. What was her name, Karen? Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's that's why it's so hilarious to me.
yeah, yeah. Um. Anyways, we're supposed to be talking about Black Panther. So yeah, today, guys, we're gonna be talking about uh, what is this? 2018? Yeah, 2018
It's
or
2018. Holy
2019?
shit.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
no, no.
2018.
What? Black
2018.
Panther?
Yeah, 2018. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2018's Ryan, directed by Ryan Coogler,
Yeah. What
which
a name.
is a black director, and he also made other movies like Creed, which is where he worked with Michael B. Jordan, and a movie
Yeah,
called
yeah, yeah.
Fruitvale Station. I haven't seen that one. Um, but yeah, he's kind of like renowned within the black community, or even in the cinematic community, as somebody who,
Coogler.
um, not saying good enough, but is fitting to direct a movie like this, especially
Yeah.
with a cast and crew that is filled with black people.
Yeah.
This is what made Black Panther so significant, so special, and so unique, is because everything about this movie empowers and acknowledges black heritage and black history. Which is, and it also tells you two different sides of the story that, um, like, the black people have gone through within the years, and even
Yeah.
obviously still in current media and current situations. Sadly that we
Still.
still have
Yeah.
to be talking about this issue. But yeah, this is 2018, directed by Ryan Coogler. Um, were you excited for this movie when it was
Hell yeah.
first announced?
Hell yes. Of
Definitely.
course.
Yeah. T'Challa has been a staple within the Marvel comic universe since the dawn of time, and it's only appropriate for him to finally get his own movie. Um, and it's so sad how we got one movie from Chadwick Boseman in Black Panther, uh, and we didn't get a second one for his passing. I'm not entirely sure what's going to be happening in regards to the story or the canon wise of what's happening with the character. Is it going to be recasted? Are they going to implement his death alongside the story and maybe, you know, crown a new king? We don't know. But it's a very
Yeah.
sensitive subject right now, and let's just mourn at the moment and not
Hmm.
dive too much into hypotheses and conspiracies of what's about to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
opening scene is pretty much the story of Wakanda told in this, like, uh, pretty much beads, right? Which is like the vibranium minerals that they use throughout the movie. Instead of using holograms, they kind of like use vibranium shards or bits that like form the shape of the image that they're trying to
That's so
communicate.
sick.
Yeah, crazy. Like the technology, every
Yeah.
single tech in Wakanda is revolves around this meteorite, which is the vibranium,
Yeah.
which is what makes them so powerful and unique. Um, but it tells you the story of Wakanda, of how five tribes were made under the vibranium, and they got a king after being visited by the panther god Bast. You're gonna hear that god a lot. Um, and since the world was in the war, they decided to hide themselves and their discovery of this, you know, vibrant mineral, this meteorite from the rest of the world. And so this is
Wow.
the main reason why most of the time before this movie, any mention of Wakanda is either, discreet, or there's not much information about them, right? Just Africa, tribes people, third world country. That's what they're known
Yeah.
for. But really, there's something beyond that, right? We cut to Prince Njobu. Hopefully, I'm not butchering that name, but in Oakland in the 1980s, and gets a
Mm.
visit from the current king T'Chaka. So this is the younger version of the king that we saw at the UN assembly in Civil War. Was that Civil War? No, Winter Soldier. No, Civil War. Yeah, Civil War.
Yeah. Civil War. Yeah.
And we learned that he has a younger brother that was sent to America, right? And
Yeah.
that was him.
Yeah.
and we see that he's already accustomed to the life in Oakland, really um, trying to survive. So we see him planning out a heist or something with his friend or his, right hand man Zuri, which I didn't catch the name, his undercover name at that time.
Joe, or like I think Joey.
I think it was Joey. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, he
yeah,
acted like he had no idea what was going on or whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
He
but
was undercover.
yeah, he was undercover, and
Yeah,
T'Chaka went there to confront his brother because they were trying to find out how Ulysses Claw was able to get coordinates for Wakanda, was able to know where the vibranium was kept, um, and pretty much compromising the country in general as to what they were originally trying to do, which is hide from the rest of the world.
yep,
Um, and then we get like a slight reasoning as to why, because he felt like he was abandoned. He was sent to America and he was led astray. And what he saw there was their own people who looked like them that were suffering. They were incarcerated,
yeah,
they were overpowered, they were oppressed. And this is a reflection of current black communities in urban cities all across America and even in Canada. you know and it's a subject, it's an elephant in the room that white people choose to ignore, and this is where ignorance plays a part with higher class people, and they don't want to admit the real grittiness and the real dirty things that's happening because they're blinded by the luxurious shit and privilege.
yeah. Nice.
Yeah. And then we learned that in Jobu has a kid who was playing basketball at the time. Um, and the sad part is T'Chaka knew about that kid.
Yeah.
Right. So the last clip that we see is Killmonger or Eric looking up in the sky, and the spaceship. What is that called? The Quinjet was leaving, and that was sort
Is
of
that the Quinjet? Or
no,
like their version of the Quinjet?
yeah, their version of the
Yeah.
Quinjet. I think it's a Panther jet. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, but the
The
Panther.
Flying
Yeah,
Panther.
yeah, yeah. So it's the image of the flying Panther jet leaving, but there's more to the story of that later on. But it cuts to T'Challa, and then now we see him doing a rescue mission. Right, pretty sick
Yeah.
action sequence, and it also shows his method of attack, which is stealth. Which is
Yeah.
like, a lot of people would come in and blowing up cars, but no, he like deactivated the cars, he like hid in the trees, and it's like
Yeah.
an actual panther, like a hunter,
Mm-hmm.
hunter gatherer.
uh,
And this was pretty
that's
dope,
funny.
dude. He was getting shot like, point blank, and he wasn't even flinching.
Who's taking it? What's this tech? I don't understand.
Yeah, what's his tech? Like this
Yeah.
vibranium, man. Like Cap, we were all amazed by Cap's shield and how durable it is, but this guy's wearing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A thin layer of it.
Yeah, a thin layer where he's still able
Yeah.
to do backflips, and you
So
know
X.
his claws are made out of vibranium. Everything is made out of vibranium.
Yeah.
And we also get to see how flexible vibranium is throughout this movie. The
Yeah.
possibilities of technology that it can create, not just like offensive but defensive wise. I mean, they heal the guy's spine with vibranium,
So excited.
like X. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Um, we learned that he's there because he has to rescue, or not rescue, but he has to go find his love. What's her name again? Fuck. Do you know her name? What's her name? The girl's
Nokia.
which one? Nakia.
Oh,
Nakia.
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 Nakia. I was
Yeah.
like Nokia.
Na-
Nakia.
yeah, Nakia, and she's
Is
like,
she a princess? Is she a princess?
I no, I believe she is also the main warrior from another tribe, which is the River
Oh,
Tribe.
word.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so we learned that she's like, oh, I'm not even supposed to be breaking out of undercover until a month from now, and then he's like, my father is dead.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You must come with me to mourn. And then she's like, bet. and then so she, and then we learned that there's a little bit of a romantic spark
Hmm.
between them two. I never freeze, and he froze.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know, like a
Ice storm.
yeah, facts. Freeze, ice storm.
Yeah, but it's the wrong lady. Wrong lady.
Same girl, same girl. um. Anyways, they take her back to the main city of Wakanda, and this is our first look at the city, and it's hidden through some sort of like camo shield. I don't know if that's
Okay, like,
also from
come on.
Wakanda. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
some
yeah.
next
This
shit, man.
this
Yeah,
is like Asgard on Earth.
pretty much.
Like,
Love
it's
how
crazy.
flourishing the city is, and like
Yeah.
they did a really good job at making the buildings look both traditional and advanced
Yeah.
slash modern at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we see like traditional huts on top of like skyscrapers,
Yeah.
which is like both old school
X.
and new tech, right? And then there's actually a term for this called Afrofuturism that was first
Ooh.
introduced from the Black Panther comic book series.
Comics? Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
where it pretty much shows the world with traditional practices alongside new technology, which is what we see throughout this movie as well. So shout outs to Ryan Coogler
Nice.
for bringing that to life. Looks really dope.
Amazing.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
They land and we meet Shuri for the first time, who is T'Challa's sister and the Queen of Wakanda. I don't think I got her name. Do you have her name?
No,
Queen.
but she just said Queen, or the mother of Wakanda or something.
Yeah, I don't know her
Yeah.
name. Queen
She
something.
looks like, man, she looks like this old woman I knew in the Philippines.
Oh yeah,
And, the singer Jaya?
yeah, Jaya.
I think, like, if there was a
Jaya's
Filipino
mom,
version, no, if it Filipino version of Black Panther, she would,
like the
Jaya
Queen,
could
it
play
would be the
the
Queen.
queen.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Shout out to Jaya, man. I met her when I was like 10 years
No
old.
way. Oh,
Yeah, long time ago. I
that's
don't think she remembers
lady.
me. I don't even
That's
remember
crazy.
one song from her. But shout out to Jaya.
What? That's
Um,
crazy.
yeah, and she was wearing this white dress, right? The queen. She looked really cool. Um, we also learned that
Yeah,
Okoye is the general of the female tribal army of warriors. So they're kind
yeah,
of like the Valkyrie from the Asgard, except
yeah,
they're the
yeah,
royal guards of the king, pretty
yeah.
much. Koya
To protect
plays. This is
the
such a cool
throne.
character, right?
Best, best.
Without question. Like
That's
that's
so
a
good.
that's a warrior spirit right there. Shout out to
Yeah,
Jersey Drake,
wow.
Koye. Sure you mentioned to T'Challa about his new suit, and says just because something works doesn't mean we can't improve it. This actually reflects the current system of how Wakanda works and how later on it's
Yeah.
improving to, open its borders across the world, right? Just because something
Wow.
works, man, doesn't mean we
Foreshadowing.
shouldn't improve it. Yeah.
I did not catch that. Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And of course, she makes the suit better. He doesn't have to go in a corner and suit up anymore. He just thinks about it and it comes to him, which is pretty cool.
Awesome.
Um, but then it cuts to Killmonger or Eric, and he's in a museum.
I love this.
Um, yeah, this scene was really like
So
woke.
good.
This scene was a woke scene
Oh my god.
because he vocalized things that a lot of black people would love to scream at
To
white
say,
people's
yeah,
face.
all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and
We've been saying this.
to say it in a museum out of all
Yeah.
places is like
Oh
because
yeah.
that's how museums were curated back then, right?
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
literally just white explorers coming back home with just like artifacts on artifacts and tools
Yeah.
and weapons from tribes that they stole it from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he berates the curator and pretty much and she denies it, obviously.
Yeah.
You know,
She don't know shit.
calls the security on him, um, but she instantly shuts the fuck up because uh, Ulysses Claw comes in like a badass as always, And he himself, Killmonger himself, feels like an artifact at that point. This is a place where he doesn't
Yeah.
belong. This is a place, I guess, he feels like he was stolen from that land and
Yeah.
put in another place. And much like the ancestors, they were also stolen, right?
It's true.
Because he delivers that line later on, man, where it's just like, bury me in the sea where my ancestors, abandoned ship because they knew death was
Yeah.
better than bondage. That's fucking just crazy.
Oh my God.
That's
The writing in this movie. Wow.
and I just learned that it was Chadwick
Oh,
Boseman who wrote that line for Killmonger.
that's godlike.
Ridiculous.
This guy
To
was an artist.
to know that now is even crazier.
It's chills right there.
Um,
Jesus.
but yeah, we meet Claw once again, and this time he has an upgraded prosthetic weapon of an arm.
Yeah.
After Ultron
Ultron.
sliced it off, and
Yeah, I
it's
forgot about that.
and it's I'm guessing it's made from vibranium. I mean, what else would he make it out from?
Yeah.
Um,
It's an old mining tool that he reconfigured.
so in order to
Yeah.
mine vibranium, you're gonna have to use vibranium, right? Much like
Yeah.
diamond, the only other thing that can cut diamond is diamond.
Yeah. It's
Um,
crazy.
but we don't know it yet. But that arm emits like sonic waves, uh,
Oh yeah.
which is what purifies vibranium, which is how he found the source or the to purify that tool into confirming that it is vibranium by
Yeah.
shaking off all the other whatever
True. True.
dirt,
True.
metal.
True. True.
And after stealing the vibranium, Killmonger gets mesmerized by the African masks. Is that from Wakanda too? Nah, I'm just feeling it. You know, it might have reminded him of the glow from the ship leaving his apartment that night, from the
Yeah.
two eyes on the bottom of the ship, and that ship, the bottom of the boosters are actually, designed after the African mask, so that when Black Panther
Interesting.
flies over the commoners and farmers, they are, filled with a sense of pride for their homeland. So that's probably something that's what happened
Wow.
with Killmonger.
That's
Is that far reaching?
details.
Is that reaching too far?
That is a detail.
Is that reaching too far?
Stream. Let me know if he's telling the truth.
Yeah, tell me if I'm telling the truth, or tell me if I'm lacking the strength of the Black Panther too much.
Oh man.
Cut back to Wakanda, and the ceremony for T'Challa's crowning as the king starts. And they're pretty much in this like drained out waterfall esque type of landscape with all like the tribal, with all the five tribes going around and representing their warriors. So we get a little bit clear on being the Black Panther doesn't necessarily mean you're the king. That just means that you are the strongest warrior from that tribe. All right. So just like all the other tribes, all their leaders also had their strongest warrior with them at the time. And Okoye is part of the river tribe. I think we had the mining tribe, the river tribe, the market tribe or whatever,
Merchants.
the merchant tribe. Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
Coming in and then representing all their colors, right?
yeah,
Red, blue, green. And
yeah.
it's actually reflective upon actual tribes in Africa.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait, is there textile tribe? You said was that one of them?
Yes, I believe the one from the Okoye's man was from that tribe. So they specialize in
Oh,
like uh
raising sheep and whatever.
yeah, like clothing
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's why they have the
Oh yeah.
Kumot shields.
Kumot, yo, the snuggie.
Blanket shields. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's godlike.
It is, yeah. Um
Imagine a shield that you can just drape over yourself.
yeah. And it's
It's like
like
invisibility
hardcore shield.
cloak.
Yeah, it's not like
Wow.
just like a Kumot. It's like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't stab through that.
That's crazy.
Um
I
Forrest
got tech.
Whitaker plays an older Zuri, and we also learned that the guy that played the young Zuri was his son. Pretty cool. Yeah,
That's
young
so that's
Whitaker.
so that squint is genetic,
Uh,
or do you think he was doing that as well just to be like,
he didn't
I
have
know
he
what?
didn't have the eye. He just had like
Oh yeah.
like you know like The blem eyes. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Who
Yeah, he's
keeps
like, yeah, I
bringing
know.
more? I've had too many. That's what he says. This purple herb has done me up already.
Oh my god!
Anyways,
Wow,
yeah. So
summer 15.
he leads the ceremony and he strips away the strength, which offers a path to the throne. So when he says he's offering a path to the throne, that means that the Black Panther can now be challenged for the throne from all the other
Yeah,
tribes. So all the
that's
other
cool.
tribes, they do their thing. The River tribe has chosen to not challenge the Black Panther. You know,
They switched that up. They're like, we chose to not.
yeah. Sorry, we chose to not. And
That's crazy.
but out of nowhere, right? Oh, sorry, I have it here. So it's merchant, border, river, and
Oh, the
mining
border, yeah.
border. Yeah,
Yeah, the border.
instead of textile.
Yeah,
But the Jabari tribe
yeah,
comes through. They
yeah.
reached and they talked trash, told
Oh,
Mans to bear up,
godlike.
right? It's man, Umbaku is
Yeah,
one of the most coolest characters
in Marvel.
in Marvel in
On
general.
cinema.
In cinema. Yeah, this guy,
Yeah,
their like war cry is dope. They're coming in
yeah,
like gorillas because they're
yeah.
supposed to represent the white man apes. Um, that actually ate people in the comics, but they do a little joke about it that they don't do it here. But he challenges T'Challa for the
Yeah,
throne, and we
sick.
learn that they don't really get fucked with. All the other tribes don't really fuck with them. You know, they're up in the mountains, doing their own thing,
Yeah,
and I'm not really sure why that is. Maybe it's like a like an agreement for both of them that we don't really want to. I don't really rate you guys.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
well, how do they survive up there? It's not like they trade, you know, because it doesn't look like, or it looks like M'Baku is really against technology because
Hmm.
he pointed at Shuri. He was like, to this child, you give all this like power and technology and resources to this child, and and they're all about tradition. It seems like
Hmm.
up there,
Hmm.
the
All
way
their
they,
weapons and the way they
yeah,
dress, it's very
yeah,
tribal still compared to all the other tribes.
yeah,
And it also can maybe because their location is the farthest away from the meteorite. So it maybe to them they don't feel the need to actually acquire it, or they resent it. They resent having
maybe,
this power from space instead of using the elements that they're given on Earth,
yeah,
right? Um, but man, they bear up.
yep,
They go at it. Man squared up.
yep.
He put up a good
It's
fight.
like it's a cafeteria fight. I've been there. Holy.
Yeah, you
He's
know,
like, yo, I want that last Panzerotti. No, no, no.
T'Challa gets knocked back and his head like swings back, and he
Oh my
sees his
god.
mom and his sister upside down. And this is the part where he kind of like slowly loses the grasp of the throne. And we see this upside down shot being done later on as he's
Yeah.
losing grip of the throne. And he
Wow.
eventually does, but this time he comes back. He says, ah, and fucking elbows the shit out of his mask. Ah la la, right?
Yo. Oh my god. That looked like a ferocious hit.
And
Like hit confirmed.
every single hit that the T'Challa makes, the drums just goes crazy. Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun. And we learned that the drum symbolizes his ferocity and tenacity and as a
Yeah.
warrior spirit. And he wins via submission. And he says to Umbaku says, I'd rather die, but he says, your people need you. People need a
Wow.
leader, need a king. And
Wow.
this gets repaid later on, um, from M'Baku. But they retreat. The Jabari tribe retreats, and T'Challa gains the strength of the Black Panther once again after being officially crowned as the king of Wakanda. And this time, he goes to the astral plane to meet
Wow.
his dad.
Yeah.
right? Which is the first time we get to see the astral plane. Really cool place. One of the questions that I have is: does Strange have access to this place? Is this something that is
Sounds like, you know.
considered as a means of maybe
Well, hmm,
it's like the soul plane, right? Like the soul world or
yeah,
whatever that Thanos went into,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Soul Plane. I love that movie. Uh,
Snoop Dogg, Cat Williams. Yeah, yeah,
um,
it's not like that. I didn't see that plane over there, but
well, I think the difference with Strange is that he can project himself as an astral form, whereas the astral plane is an
mm,
actual, like, kind of like, not a place, but I guess kind of like the chaos dimension,
oh
where,
yeah, maybe.
it's like, it's
Yeah, or like a
nowhere,
quantum
really.
realm, like it's another realm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of like that.
And the way he goes in there is, he drinks the fruit, sorry, the plant, which
Yeah,
gives
the
him the
herb.
strength, and he gets
That's crazy.
buried in this like sand
It's crazy.
thing, right?
Hot sand.
Is that hot sand?
It looks hot.
It looks hot. Yeah,
Oh, it's
probably.
probably not though. It's probably not.
Uh,
Well, because it might contrast from, for later,
mhm.
when he has to go through the astral plane again.
Oh yeah, true. He goes into, yeah, but they use ice later on.
Yeah, so that's why I said it, that's why it might be hot the first one.
Oh, and then the cold later on.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
like, we'll try this one. It still works.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
um,
The opposite.
but it's actually that ritual of them being buried and getting the herb and stuff. That's probably reflective into real world like tribes, right? Of what they do when it comes to like crowning a king or a leader of their tribe. I'm sure that they have their own traditional ways of doing that, but it's probably well researched from Kugler's end to make sure that it's as accurate as possible, right?
Nice.
T'Challa talks to his dad once again, which I didn't know that his dad also had a lazy eye, much like Forrest
Yeah,
Whitaker.
yeah, yeah. Goats.
He gets that lesson. You're a good man with a good heart, but it's hard for a good man to be king,
Yeah,
right? It doesn't just he just doesn't warn him about the struggles uh, in pleasing the people in his country, but it's also the struggles of keeping the throne itself,
yeah.
right? Of seeing other ideals and seeing other people go through some other shit, and just to be king, really. It's like Simba, man. This movie is low key Lion King. You know, even
Oh, I just can't wait to be
yeah,
king.
even the beginning, man. How does Lion King start? It's Simba, Dad. What's that place?
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah,
the beginning
yeah.
here
It's true.
is Killmonger talking to his dad,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Dad,
But
yes, son.
yeah,
Yeah, like you
it's
know,
a it's a real parallel.
it's a real parallel. Yeah. We also learned that Nakia wants to open the borders, and so this is where the ideals start uncovering themselves as to where T'Challa might want to take the next generation of Wakanda. And meanwhile, Wakabi, played by what's his name, Kaluuya, is against it. He's part of the border tribe, and he's sort of like the big security guard for Wakanda.
Yeah,
Um, and he's against it. He doesn't want to open the
makes
borders,
sense. He's a
right?
border guy. Like, why would you?
Yeah. Why would I want to open it up, man? Why would I open it up,
Yeah,
my love? That's what he
that's
said.
his that's his job. Like, imagine if the TSA was not existent at airports.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
that would be. Actually, do you
Well,
remember a time where there was no
yeah. There was no
TSA?
TSA back then. Yeah.
Oh my God, man, TSA sucks.
Ooh. Yeah. TSA does suck.
Yeah,
TSA sucks in America.
yeah,
It
yeah.
because the
I've been to.
process is much
Yeah,
worse there compared to the Canadian ones. Yeah.
yeah. The people are terrible.
Yeah. Because you got to go through that full body thing and like.
Man, the mouth on some of these people. Oh, I swear, America is just
Oh yeah.
like
Some of these
haters.
people like they just asking to get their ass whooped, and you're just there holding
Yeah.
back your tongue. You know what I mean? Because it's like
Yeah.
filthy. Uh,
Yeah.
anyways, um,
Parry this.
while they're discussing about opening the borders, they get summoned by the leader since Claw just went on their radar. And then they find out that Claw is making an exchange uh, for some vibranium, some deal, and they plan
Yeah.
on taking him in when he's selling the vibranium in South Korea. And what's his name? Wakabi was like, "If you can't take him back, you kill him. Do I have your word?" You know, T'Challa's like, "Bet." You know, like Avi, I'm gonna kill
Yeah.
this man, right?
You already know.
And before that, they gotta suit up to get to see the vibranium mine for the first time, which is where they do all the research and do all the buildings for any vibranium tech, and of course where they refine and mine the meteorite. And it's just
Wow.
crazy how much vibranium there is.
There's an endless. It looks like, and it looks like it propagates after harvest.
That means that it's
Like moss.
it's like an endless amount. Like it's fucking
Yeah.
regenerates. That's great because like it
Yeah.
goes down, and literally the whole thing. It's not
Yeah.
like it's not like gold or diamonds where it would be
Like in
motes or
rocks.
nodes. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the whole thing is vibranium.
Yeah. Yeah. And
They have like magnetic trains going around and like
yeah.
transporting this, and it's like,
Yeah. And they've
man,
been doing this for hundreds of years,
hmm
right?
yeah,
Like a long time.
yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure if the audience is would agree with this, but I've always thought that vibranium was sort of a symbolism for hemp and how how
Interesting.
how flexible it is in terms of creating materials with it, but
Yeah.
it's so shunned and it's so hidden from
Yeah.
the world because it would ruin economic states and financial distributions within governments,
For
stuff
sure.
like that, right? It's like
For sure.
so I'm not sure, guys. You can agree with me or not, but I always felt like vibranium was sort of a low key symbol for that because hemp is the
For
same
sure.
thing. It can be made into anything and everything, but we
Yeah.
choose not to
Building
do it.
materials. Holy shit.
Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
Paper you can even use for fuel, but
Yep.
we don't do that.
Extreme. Like, ask yourself, why is it illegal to grow a non-psychoactive plant, right?
Yeah,
To replace the industry, because actually, growing it in the tropical countries, and if they got a hold of it, and like a whole industry of it started up and stuff, it would change that nation, like
actually, they
totally.
wouldn't need to export or import anything anymore.
We'd be like flying like these guys and healing spines with
Yeah,
it's crazy, right? Healing spines.
dude, my back hurts right now. I need
Yeah,
some vibranium.
yeah, yeah. Here, let me
Oh,
light you
you,
up.
oh shit, thanks, man.
Hey, man, here you go.
You're just gonna end up smoking that. You're lighting it
Yeah,
up yourself.
yep.
um,
Yo, vibranium.
we also get introduced to the new suit, which uses nanobots to form on the body, and it comes from a necklace, a very discreet necklace. Um, she makes a joke. Shuri makes a joke. Says, "Oh no, people are shooting at me. Let me put on my helmet," which is hilarious, right? Because
Yeah,
this is sort of a play on Tony Stark a little bit, where in his first three movies, pretty much, he always had to suit up in a
yeah. It's so
non-conventional way
ridiculous.
before fighting against other people.
Yeah,
Um, and it also has a damage redistribution tech that makes it explode with energy, which is that purple thing that happens. So
yeah, yeah.
it pretty much uses kinetic energy. It absorbs anything that it's thrown towards. So if you punch it, it'll absorb that punch, and it will give out the same energy. But it also stacks. Right later on, we get
It's
to see that
crazy.
a little bit more. Um, we also get to see his new like shoes, I guess, Wakandan Black Panther boots. Um, they nicknamed the sneakers, which is
The sneakers.
the sneakers. And on the bottom of the soles there's actually some Wakandan letterings, and
Ooh.
if you translate that, it says Air T'Chaka, which is and it's air, not AIR, it's HEIR.
H-E. Ooh, no, you're lying.
Which is yeah, so it's a double pun of him being the heir from T'Chaka, and it's also a play on words of
Wait,
Air
are
Jordan, like
you?
Air T'Chaka.
Is it actually facts?
Yeah, this is an actual
That's
fact.
a detail.
It was translated, and that's what it says on the bottom, which is pretty jokes. Um,
Wait, little sidestep.
mhm.
Remember when people thought Carmelo Anthony was the heir to the Michael Jordan? Uh, remember that time with the braids and the North Carolina
Dude, that
shit?
was
I
like
think it
his
was.
first year, so like people were obviously like, because
Come
he
on.
was balling.
Yeah.
Like his
Okay, he was.
Denver days was not a joke. Like Melo was a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
But it's all
Yeah.
about, like, he just didn't keep up that. You know what I mean? Like he could have
Yeah.
been
But
Jordan if he was like that the entire time, but he wasn't.
yeah. That's like sometimes you fizzle out, man.
It's hard, man. I mean, he came in the same year as LBJ.
And
So
Wade, right?
and Dwayne Wade, yeah, Chris Bosh. That was a crazy, crazy,
Crazy class.
yeah, crazy draft at that time. But see these players still playing. I mean, fucking dude, Portland is going against was going against LA. Like, you have Melo
Oh,
go against LBJ
it's gonna be
2020, dude.
crazy.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, they just lost, so because Damian Lillard's injured, but it's okay. But shout outs to Carmelo, man, for coming back after such a long hiatus. Uh,
Yeah. But you fucked what's his name? Jeremy Lin, so you kinda deserved it a little bit. you know.
it's okay. But guess who has a ring, though? Sorry,
That's got like
Melo, but the Lin Sanity has a ring sanity.
I'm dying. He
It's
must
like
be so
he's like,
salty. Oh,
damn. It's like, come on, Lin, I'm back. Get off the court. Your Lin Sanity's over.
oh my god.
Lin went to
He can flex
Toronto.
that.
Lin went to Toronto for 1 year. It's fucking
Played 2 minutes.
disgusting.
Yeah, played two
Disgusting, dude.
minutes.
I was actually really happy because I felt like, Lin, I think this is your home, man. I feel like Raptors is like
Yeah,
honestly the place that you should be, because like people here already were wearing Lin jerseys
yeah. Big
when
fans.
you were in the Rockets, even. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like
there are a lot of Lin fans here.
a lot of Lin fans.
Like every Filipino household, when Lin Sanity was like happening,
Oh yeah,
they were like, "Oh, he's a savior."
yeah. Food. I fucking ordered fried
Yeah.
wontons every time that Linsanity was on.
Oh my god, that
Yeah.
restaurant must have been bumping that night.
Yeah, Noodle Walk was going crazy. I was like, give me my fucking spicy garlic pepper
That
chicken.
place is amazing, dude.
Facts. Yeah.
So jealous. You're so close to it.
Me, not really. Like, it's in Saga, right? I'm in B Town right now. But
Yeah, but that's close, and now you have a car. That's why. Like I can't just
yeah,
Uber there for like $50 just
Uber
to
Eats
get some.
doesn't reach there. If it did, you already know I'd be ordering there like
Of
nonstop. Man, I
course.
haven't been there in a
Yeah.
while. What time is it?
Let's reach.
Anyways. I was like, what time is it? Um,
X.
so they cut to South Korea, which is a place that you
Oh yeah.
know very well since you've been
Yes,
there. How many
sir.
times have you been there?
I've been there 3 times.
3 times already. Wow, and
Yeah.
you spend quite a lot of time there. It's not just like a week or two. It's like
No, I
months.
was there. Okay, so the first time I was there for a total of like 13 days to with the class, and then I went back for like 2 months because at the time I was seeing someone.
Nice.
And then the third time. Oh, the third time was just recently, actually, 2017.
Nice.
I was there for like, fuck, 16 days.
See what I mean, man?
It was great.
Pitbull has nothing
So,
on this guy, dude.
missed.
Mr. World who? What's that?
No.
He's the real Mr. Worldwide here.
It's global.
It's global. Um,
Prestige worldwide right here.
Prestige worldwide. But yeah, so it cuts into South Korea. Nakia is wearing green, T'Challa is wearing black, and Okoye is wearing red. This is the Pan African flag, which is
Nice.
represented throughout this whole
Amazing.
movie,
Yeah.
uniting all the countries of Africa, uh, and represented from these three strong warriors,
Wow.
as they should. Agent Ross, played by Martin Freeman, is also doing a sting, and we see him here again, and he is the buyer from Clow. So we learned that
Nice.
this is also a sting. So aside from T'Challa wanting to bring in Claw, we also learned that Agent Ross is there to bring him in. So now they're going to fight over him. Bilbo versus Gollum. This is Lord of the Rings all
Wow.
over again, right?
That's crazy.
Claw comes in like a badass, by the way. This guy has like a entourage of SUVs. He doesn't even need to take off his guns when going through the metal detector because he owns the place, man. And like, I don't know, like what's his name again?
Does he actually own the place?
No, no, no. But he's pretty much like
Yeah, yeah.
the boss, right? What's his name
Yeah,
again?
yeah.
Andy Serkis.
The circus.
Yeah, he's the actor.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he plays a very very good
It's amazing.
Ulysses Claw, and he played a
Yeah.
very good Gollum. And I just watched the first Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and I know that he plays Caesar in that
Nice.
one. That was
Nice.
also top notch. Good
Hmm.
MCU actor right there. Um, but Okoye does the first strike, and shit literally goes down, and we get to see a pretty crazy action scene. And Ryan Coogler does this a lot of just like one shot takes, and it's kind of like panning the whole environment. He goes from the second floor to the first
Yeah, it's
floor,
so sick.
and it showcases. It pretty much checks on all of them, like T'Challa, Okoye, and Nakia doing their own little action sequences, and we see a lot of girl power there. Okoye using her wig as a weapon, Nakia using her heels as a weapon, showing
Yeah,
that
X.
women power, man.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? All the ladies are
Yeah.
independent. Throw your hands up at me. Beyonce, can you handle this? Kelly, can you handle this? Michelle, can you handle this? I
Oh
don't
my
think you
god.
can handle this. Uh oh.
No, stream clip that. I'm
Shout
dying.
out to Destiny's Child. But yeah, the pretty crazy action scene here. Okoye with her long staff that comes out
That's
of
a
nowhere.
that's a sick weapon. Where does it come from? Her bangles?
I
'Cause she
think
wears the
so.
bangles. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think and it like extends,
That's
right?
crazy.
Yeah.
How? It's a fucking spear. It just comes out of nowhere.
Vibranium, man. This is how flexible the material
Yeah.
is. You can make shit out of nowhere. We also see the power of Claw's arm, a sonic wave, kind of reminiscent of the ones that Stark Industries made from the Incredible Hulk, except instead of having it continuously blast, it's like one big blast at a time, and he like fucking T'Challa flew like across the room because
Wow.
Circus was trying to escape, right?
Yeah. That
Uh,
shot was sick with the he picked up I think a big money box.
yeah, which is heavy
And
as fuck,
yeah. Yeah,
and
yeah.
but he plowed through that, like it
Yeah.
dented pretty well. That means that's how powerful that shock was.
Yeah, it's full of like coins and like yeah, just
Yeah.
heavy shit.
We also see the remote driving with the upgraded pods. That was pretty neat, right?
Crazy.
Dude,
Crazy
the
tech.
the tech is just like ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Shuri's not even there. She's in
Yeah.
Wakanda,
Yeah.
and they're in South Korea. This is
Yeah.
overseas.
No lag. Dude,
That
she
was
had
yeah,
no frames like
yeah,
no frame lag. Like
practically. Well,
local
I saw a little parsec symbol at the side there. I think she used
yo.
she used parsec too.
Okay,
I
yes.
think yeah,
Alright, right. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. She's
You
like,
pay for premium.
yeah. They're like, oh, button check. That's what they need to. That's what they were trying to do. Um,
Yeah, she's blinking. Click, 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 click.
But we also
Yeah.
learned that the cars they're driving themselves are also made from vibranium,
Yeah.
which is why they crashed into so many things, but not a scratch or not a
Yeah.
thing was
Oh,
happening to them, unless it's from other vibraniums. Obviously,
yeah.
yeah. Claw's arm was a sonic wave or whatever, so that definitely hurts the vibranium. But that was really cool to see.
Yeah.
Um, and shout outs to Nakia for driving with no shoes on.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that.
That's tribal shit, man. That's tribal
Yep.
AF right
Oh my
there.
God.
Um,
Yeah.
Claw shoots Black Panther, and we see his suit kind of dissolve a little bit before recovering back. And this is a
Yeah.
little hint, this is a clue to what sonic waves can do to vibranium, which is ultimately how T'Challa won against Killmonger later on in the mines. We learned that sonic waves kind of, what is that? Like,
Suppress it or like suspend it or something,
yeah,
or it creates or it repels it maybe.
maybe, yeah, because Shuri says that transporting raw vibranium is dangerous, so they had to find a way to, yeah, suppress the
Oh,
material when moving it because I guess I don't know what happens, and they use
right,
sonic
right, right.
waves on the trains for that, right?
Interesting.
Um, but yeah, they capture Claw, but Bilbo's like, no, 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 he's coming with me, okay? Like
Yeah.
we get to interrogate him. Maybe you can have him after, but we need to interrogate him. That's why they had to go. Where did they go? Were they still in Korea or was that in
We're
America?
still in Korea.
Still in
Yeah.
Korea, right? So they
Yeah.
capture Claw, and Bilbo interrogates him, and Wakanda's secrets are slowly seeping out, even though Bilbo is still very, you know, doubtful about what Claw is saying, right? Uh, but Killmonger comes through and blasts a wall and rescues Claw, and T'Challa sees that Killmonger is wearing a royal Wakanda ring
Ring.
around
Yeah.
his neck, and he
His
kind of like
grandfather's ring.
and he's kind of like shook a little bit as to why
Yeah. Yeah.
he couldn't
Yeah.
pursue them any further. But long story short, they messed up pretty much. They captured Claw, but they lost him.
Yeah.
They let him get out of the way. And what's worse is that Bilbo gets shot in the spine. And
Damn it,
he's
Bilbo.
sorry, Agent Ross. I gotta say it by his real name. Bilbo gets shot and he's taken to Wakanda just like Bucky. But this is another compromise in their state of Wakanda by letting a federal agent go into their country because this isn't just some dude, you
Yeah.
know. Like Bucky was a war criminal,
Yeah.
like he
Mhm.
wouldn't dare to release information, right? But
He's a man out of time. He's not. He doesn't have allegiance to this world,
facts, yeah,
so
yeah,
he's fine. He's fine.
yeah,
You can. He's chill. He's the one chill white guy you could be like, yeah, yeah, you can chill with.
yeah. Yo, you sure he's okay to come into the mine? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
he's cool. He's not gonna say anything.
Yeah, trust me,
You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean,
the White Wolf.
he even offered to go back into cryo state.
Yeah,
That's how chill he is. So no,
yeah.
I'll just take a nap, man. Fuck it. Are you sure? Like you don't want to go and bang Wakandan bitches? Like yeah, but all good, bro. I'll just go back to sleep. Um,
That's true. All right,
fit.
we'll give you this pond.
Yeah, yeah. And this teepee, and he's like, that's kind of fucked up because they
Yeah.
were sleeping in houses and shit. Like,
Air conditioning. Gave them white man a teepee. Hilarious joke.
that's what you get. Um,
Oh, nice.
Failing to bring back Claw and instead bringing someone risky
Yeah,
further makes Wakabi doubt T'Challa's role as a king. So
yeah,
now we see a little bit of now the other tribes are looking at T'Challa and he's like, "Are you sure you're
yeah,
making the right decisions here? Like you couldn't even bring back
yeah,
Claw, yet alone kill him." I mean, he was close, but Okoye was like, "Yo, there's journalists and shit here, man. They know you're the king of
yeah,
Wakanda. You about to stab him with your
yeah,
claw? You crazy? You know what I'm saying?"
yeah. Yeah,
Um,
but he could have just EMP blasted all of those phones, right? And just slashed him right there.
that's even worse. That's like really being a bad guy, where it's like, yo, like now you erased something. You know what I mean? It's like
Oh
nobody
yeah,
look
but
at
then
my
you
face. That's what he's pretty much saying, right?
This, yeah, but this movie could have been like
Over.
over, I guess.
Yeah, that wouldn't make for good narrative if it was just
Yeah,
dun, dun, dun,
yeah,
dun, 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 like fucking
yeah,
like this credits start rolling up.
yeah. That's true. Okay, I got you.
Then we get to see Killmonger and his actual ulterior motive in all this, that he knows all too well about Wakanda and what's going on over there, and he decides to go to Wakanda and kills Claw, which was a little bit underwhelming, like his death.
Yeah,
I mean, he kills his girlfriend
yeah.
first, right? He didn't give a fuck, and I don't know. It just seems like Claw's death should have been bigger than that.
I
I
don't think
mean,
he's dead.
yeah. I mean, I don't think he's dead either, but you know,
Yeah, because he kept him alive to get him there, and then he handed the body to the Wakandans. What did the Wakandans do after that?
yeah,
You know?
we don't know yet where
Yeah,
they put the body or how it was done, but the point of that was it's to bring something to the tribes to please them. This is to do something that T'Challa couldn't do,
yeah,
right? It's like, you know, this guy, this random dude from America did what you did. He didn't even have the herb, bro. He's
yeah,
just
yeah,
a dude. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Um, and then Killmonger went and goes into the throne and fucking confronts, right? And all this time, T'Challa learns the truth about his uncle, who is Eric's father,
Ooh,
how he was radicalized by living in America as a black man. It could really
yeah,
change your ideals, right? And it also justifies Killmonger's feelings and actions towards Wakanda as a nation, right? It's like I was robbed of this opportunity to live in a place where oppression did not exist, where
yeah,
you know we weren't being hunted down and we weren't being stereotyped and all that crazy racism stuff that's happening to black people in America, which is something that even current Africa right now is not really receiving from anybody. Right? I mean, it's not that's you know being oppressed by the white man in in Africa, maybe in South Africa, but in Africa,
yeah.
where
I think they have a different class issue that happens there.
yeah, like
Like,
the
but,
Hutus
kind of
and
in the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Philippines.
yeah.
It's like,
And
yeah,
Philippines is the same thing too, right? I mean, the
yeah,
Negros
classism.
people are looked down upon, the Bisaya people are looked down upon,
Uh,
Tagalog people are usually from royalty or whatever.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. We understand the whole tribe like differences. Like,
mentality.
I don't even fuck with this guy. He's from a different.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
I don't fuck with this
honestly,
guy.
all of you guys, none of you guys are Bisaya, so I shouldn't be fucking with any of you guys. You know what I'm saying? If we were
That's
back in
true.
Philippines, we would.
Yeah, yeah, but he's the Killmonger of the Philippines.
I'm Killmonger.
Yeah,
Burn it
because
all.
he needs to return to Cagayan de Oro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have a thing right here. This isn't my arc reactor. This is actually glowing
Oh
in my
shit!
inner lips.
Oh my god!
Um, Nicola would be the only
No.
one that makes sense for him because he came from there.
Oh
So
really?
from my city, yeah. Well, his mom did.
Oh,
His mom's from my city.
but he doesn't speak Bisaya.
He knows a little bit, not too much though.
Oh,
Yeah,
but why does he know Tagalog more?
his dad's Tagalog.
And they lived in where?
Well,
Manila?
they lived in Manila
Yeah,
till he was 6.
Manila. Okay, so yeah, they needed to speak Tagalog because
Yeah.
if you're a Bisaya person living in Manila, like,
Well, I could still speak. Look, every Bisaya person has to learn Tagalog because we are oppressed to do so by the Tagalogs.
yes, yep.
But that man lived in Australia most of his life, man. He's not Filipino either.
True, 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 true.
Um, I just talked to Sander about this. I'm like, none of you guys ever lived in Philippines. None of you are Filipino. It's like, you know, Sander's from fucking Saudi. You're from
True.
Dubai. Choco's from
Yeah, well, I
Saudi.
was in the Philippines for 7 years at
See what I
least.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's true. Like, I didn't, I had a childhood, and that's why I had like a really romanticized uh, kind of vision of the Philippines
mhm.
most of the time.
Oh, I
But
see.
like I know like the poverty and like
Yeah.
everything, like but like I look forward to go back to do like cool stuff,
When was the
not
last
just
time
like
you were there?
tourist stuff. 2017
Oh, that's
or
not bad.
2016.
Where did you go? Manila?
2016. No, I was in the hometown.
Okay, I don't know
I
what
was
that
in
is.
Tagalaguna.
Oh, you're from. Where is Laguna? Is that near
So
Manila?
it's probably like without traffic, 2 hours away from Manila, 2 or 3 hours.
Oh, wow. Is it still a
It's
city?
usually no, it's like a
Province.
small provincial town.
Oh,
It's like
cool.
the wood carving capital of
Oh, wow. Oh, is it where they make those penis things?
no, it's
Like the
where they
dude with
make
the fucking barrel and
that.
the dick? Oh,
No,
okay, never mind.
I mean they make that, but they
Is that
make
what
more
they're
like
known
of
for?
the no. That's a Philippine wide thing. But they make Santo
Oh,
Niños and
oh, cool. Small little
yeah,
preteen Jesus.
yeah,
Cool. I
yeah,
didn't know that. I've
and
never
like
been to.
parade shit.
I've never been to Manila. I've never been to. I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. Is it good
Oh
there?
my god, Manila looks uh pretty like now. It looks like North York.
Wow! Wow! Really? That's pretty
I was
cool, actually.
there. I actually was there last, yeah, 2017, and it felt like, what the fuck? Where am I? And then
Wow.
I went to a hipster restaurant because my friend who's around my age, he
Hmm.
took me there, and it's like these dudes were. It's like I don't even know how to describe it. Like really young chef kind of like vibe,
Young
and the
chef.
and the and the prices were
Sounds
like
like a rapper name. Young chef in the building.
cooking it up. Magic syrup,
Well,
like
don't they have Starbucks there? That's like the craze. A lot of
yeah,
things
yeah,
are westernized now in Philippines, right?
yeah, yeah. But, Dunkin' Donuts is still lit. Oh my god,
Man, they're
Dunkin' Donuts in the Philippines is like perfected in every corner.
dude. It's that orange one. It's that orange donut. It's that orange dusty donut. Like the butternut one.
That's nuts.
And then their sandwiches are actually pretty good too. Like the egg
Yeah, I
sandwiches.
know.
Oh,
Oh, X.
Yo, sana sa Dunkin' Donuts, man. Pasalubong ng bayan. Uh,
Oh my god.
but I'm Killmonger, man. I haven't been to the Philippines
Yeah,
since I was 13 years old, and
yeah. That's what I'm saying. You
I'm
are
I'm
Killmonger.
22 right now, so uh, it's just not that long ago because I'm very young and stuff.
This guy said he was
So
22.
disrespectful that you're laughing at that. That's not very lit. See, I know the lingo, man. You know,
I,
if you were my crony, you would not
oh
laugh
my
at that.
god. I'm gonna get some water real
Whoo!
quick. Are you serious? Stream. What were we talking about? We're talking about Black Panther.
Yes.
We're talking about
So,
tribes and like how we
yes,
can relate.
yeah. So, um, Killmonger and T'Challa talk. This is where they confront each other, and Aaron makes some points, about black people and how much suffering they're going through compared to Wakanda, and how much help that Wakanda
Yeah,
can offer them in terms of fighting back against the oppression.
yeah,
And he's like, didn't life start here in Africa? Aren't the world all your people? You know
yeah,
what I mean? Because T'Challa had that mindset, or I guess from the past mindsets of past kings, that you only care about your people. They don't consider the black people from overseas to be their
yeah.
people as well. Um, Killmonger was asked who he was, and he pretty much went all Wakandan on them. The truth comes out. He
How
the
did he know that?
Exactly. He presented the facts. I am, the son of Prince Njobu, the one of the rightful heirs to the throne of Wakanda. Showed
Yeah,
him the ring, the glowing thing in his lips, which I think is the number one. That's better than an ID, bro. That's not, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like you go to LCBO, you have ID, and the guy's like, all right, you're good. There's Bailey's, yeah, you can go. uh, and everyone's just shocked, because not only did they not know, or at least I guess they were told differently about the ill fate of Prince Najobu, but they weren't told that Najobu had a son that was left there, which is super
Yeah,
tragic, man. Like that's T'Chaka is a jackass for that,
for
for
sure.
for leaving a child there. Just so that his lie couldn't be uncovered, right?
Did
Because
did he know?
he knew, remember? Because he's like,
Right.
if he brought back the child and without Najobu, like, there's no way he could hide the fact that he had to kill his own brother.
Hmm.
You know,
Right.
which was self-defense, right? We saw it, right? He's exercising his blood right to challenge the throne and the title of Black Panther, and and everyone's like, "Whoa!" And of course, they go back into the drained waterfall thing, and all the tribe people come in to watch T'Challa get challenged by Eric Killmonger, and everybody's there. They're doing what I'm saying. This is the Kaluuya guy kills me, by the way, because he the whole time he's cheesed. He's like mean mugging. He's like, fuck this, but he's still doing
But
it.
he's
He's
still
still
doing
doing it.
it.
He's like, man, I ain't enough with this bullshit. Like, fuck this, but
Oh
he's
my
still
god, this guy's working overtime with acting.
facts, dude. But they throw hands, dude.
Yeah.
T'Challa and Killmonger, they can go at it, Killmonger takes off his shirt, and we learned that for each single, I guess, mark or scabbed or scar that he has on his body is a confirmed kill from all
Wow.
his days in the army, air force, navy, seal. Like this guy pretty much was a natural born warrior, but not as a tribes warrior, but as an American warrior.
Yeah.
As a guy that specializes not only in hand to hand combat, but also in guns, uh, and everything else.
Warfare.
And we learn later on that his specialty was actually taking down governments, right? And so
Yeah.
this is what he's literally doing in Wakanda, was taking down and infiltrating the government. And it's just fitting so that he comes from that royal bloodline, which makes it semi easier for him to take down.
Wow.
Um, we also see that Killmonger kind of makes his own spear by making it shorter. It's better for stabbing. This is actually a technique that was used by a very famous historical African warrior of Shaka Zulu. So this is what Shaka Zulu was known for.
Really?
So
The
he would
short sword?
the short spear.
Oh, spear.
Yeah, so he would cut off the end of the spear so it's easier for stabbing
Wow.
instead of like because spears are usually thrown or like held from the back, but Shaka Zulu was more of a ferocious warrior, so he cut it off. So really cool nod to that.
That's sick.
And T'Challa gets sliced and bodied, man. Like
Dude.
like Eric is savage, dude. Like he doesn't
Yeah.
even, Zuri comes in, he's like, kill me instead, and he does. You know what I'm
He
saying?
kind of deserved it.
In a sense, he's like, "Hi, Uncle Zuri, I'm gonna kill you right now."
Yeah, you kept the lie up, you know?
Yeah, he kept the lie up, and much like the close call that T'Challa did with the waterfalls a while ago, this time he gets thrown off like fucking
Yeah.
WWE style out of the ring. You know what I'm saying? Into JR and Jerry the King Lawler's desk.
Oh my god.
Fucking, oh my god,
What a
RKO.
move.
Yeah. And this scene is actually taken from the comics where Killmonger does the same thing. He throws T'Challa off the fucking waterfalls, man. Yeah, this is some comic book nods right here, comic book references and Easter
Yeah, yeah.
eggs. This is awesome. But the fact of the matter is, Killmonger won, and he took the throne,
Yeah, that's sad right there.
right? He comes
That's
in,
like when.
and he's wearing that necklace. We know where that necklace came from. So we kind of have a
Oh,
hint that, ooh, he has a Black Panther suit. And he also went through the same thing, right? But
I like his better. Gold armor.
yeah, fucking
Yeah.
flashy as fuck, right?
So good.
And it also kind of relates to how his ideals are. You know, Black Panther is sleek, secluded from the world, but his is boastful. You know, much like his ideal and his way of showing the world the aggressive parts of Wakanda. You know, being all the weapons and flashiness and all that stuff, right?
Hmm.
Um, and Okoye shows what it means to be loyal to the throne and tells Nakia, "I gotta go back to the throne." It's like
Yep.
Nakia, Okoye, that is not your king. He's like, it's from Wakanda, you
Yeah.
know. And it's not like Nakia sees Okoye now as an enemy. It's she really can't,
Yeah.
you know, say otherwise because it's like this is what
Yeah.
Okoye's status is as the royal guard, and she must stand whoever the king is, right? And much like T'Challa, Killmonger goes through the same ritual, but instead of the astral planes, he's teleported back to the apartment to meet with his father. And this is super
Oh man.
sentimental. This was a
Wow.
very emotional scene, and we get to learn a little bit more about the struggles and how Killmonger had to grow up most of the time alone,
Yeah.
right? It's a sentimental conversation that reflects on the current lives of black people being lost in regards of them being slaves from the West,
Yeah.
right? This is a diaspora uh, at its core, where it's like
Yeah.
taken from a land and being put in a place, and now generations and generations on top of that, where now you have no ties or you have no links to your slavery in the past, but you also have no links to your ancestors from the country across the ocean. So what are you
Yeah.
left with? Who are you? What are you?
Yeah.
And where are you? There's a feeling of being lost in there. And that's what makes it different from being slaves, being taken, or willingly being an immigrant. Right? For us,
Yeah.
we know who we are, right? Because it's not like we willingly came here, but there's people
Yeah.
that lose their roots.
Yeah. Their whole identity is cut off. You
Hmm.
know.
Shout outs to Roots,
So.
man. Shout outs to the
Yeah.
movie Roots, guys. If you don't
Jeez.
know that movie, watch that movie. It's
I
gut
haven't seen
wrenching.
it.
It's gut wrenching, but you
I
learn a
have
lot of
not.
things. It's about slavery. Um, but yeah, it's we also learned that his dad left him a book about
Yeah.
Wakanda, about not losing sight of who he was. So this is where we learn uh, the way he learned how Wakanda language is,
Yeah.
like the scriptures, the locations, the ring. He left him the ring and the history of it all. And of course, he says it again where his dad said that the most beautiful sunsets are the ones in Wakanda, and how badly Killmonger wanted to see that with his father, which is super
Wow.
emotional, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Oh my God.
He wakes up and he's kind of like in disarray, kind of looks around and he says, "What is this for?" Like, "Oh, this is how it works with like Wakandan rituals, and how the next king or the next Black Panther comes in and the herb makes you powerful and all that stuff." But he's like,
Next one.
"Next one, fuck is you illin about?" That's what he said. He
Ain't no
said,
next man,
and
he
he
said.
burns it all. But Nakia,
Yeah.
being the little espionage master that she is, sneaks one on the side. He said, "That's
Yep.
for later. That's for daddy."
That's for later. Oh my
she
God,
bounds it home,
dream.
she BHs it, right? Bring home. That's a
Yep.
bring home right there. You know. But he Killmonger initially um orders all the herbs to be destroyed, so preventing anyone else from gaining the power of the Black Panther. Um,
It's crazy.
which is one of his underlying goals of destroying Wakanda's power from the inside,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
at the same time releasing that power into the world. Right? It's always a selfish thing, right? Where it's like this shit needs to stop, you know. Um, but yeah, so at the same time, arming every oppressed person in the world to rise up in power and take over. This is a very radical way of fighting back, and low key kind of becoming colonizers themselves. So this is where the line should
Yeah.
have been drawn, right? This is where the two ideals of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X kind of coincided and butted heads a little bit on their ideals, right? Where it's like they were both fighting for the people, but the way they wanted to um, express that was two different ways. It was either
Yeah.
forgiveness, patient outreach, or revenge, right?
Yeah.
Like aggressive comeback or whatever to the oppressors, right? Which is right, which is wrong. This is a gray
Who's to
area.
say?
It's a
Who
gray
is to
area.
say?
Who's to say? Only
Yeah.
them. Only the black people can really say. The family right now is desperate. They're like fucking walking around in a desert. You see that the queen has white hair, much like
Yeah.
Ororo.
Oh. Oh. Freeze.
When I first saw the trailer for Black Panther and there was a clip of like the queen with her hair, I was like, "That's Ororo." There's no
No
that. I
way.
was
No
like literally
way.
getting hyped because I'm like, Storm has white hair, right?
No, not yet.
But not yet,
Yeah.
because you know what happens to frogs when they get hit by lightning?
Yeah. You think she'll come back? That would be sick.
Yeah, she's gonna say the exact same words.
Yeah. Oh my god. I would get hyped too. The kids wouldn't understand.
Yeah,
It'd be
I'd be
like,
like the same thing that happens to everything else. Let's go.
ah.
Freeze, ice storm.
Yeah.
Um,
The power of Gaia. Power of the wind. Oh shit.
the fam is desperate and they seek out Umbaku from the Jabari tribe for him to take the herb and defeat Killmonger. This was a flattering thing for Umbaku to take, but for him, I feel like Umbaku is a type of warrior that does not really want unnatural ways of gaining power. I think he's more of a raw man, like
Yeah, he's a total natty.
yeah, like he likes low tier shit. Like what I mean? Like I don't want
Oh man.
Virgil. Hell
Yeah.
no. You know
No,
what I
no,
mean?
no.
You want me to be motivated? I don't want that. And
Nope.
then, but we also get to see his city for the first time. Really cool. I love it. I love the vibe. Like tree houses by the mountains type of thing. And even
Yeah,
his
yeah.
throne room had like the sharpened branches all hanging. Really
Yeah.
cool vibe.
I like their pad. They're like a bunch of bachelors.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much a bunch of bachelors. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, shut
Yeah.
up, or I will feed you to my children.
Yo, he has the best lines in this movie. After getting his ass kicked and like challenging him after getting his ass kicked,
Hmm.
and then like this particular scene where Martin Freeman starts talking, Bilbo
Yeah,
starts
it's like,
talking. Oh shit!
do not talk. Are you done? Are you done?
That's the best.
You know what I mean? But then he
Mbaku.
reveals that he found T'Challa at the bottom of the waterfall, almost frozen to death. This man was
Yeah,
fucking
good
Captain
guy.
America. This guy's like, yo.
Wow.
T'Challa looked at Steve and be like, I feel you on that one. That's how it feels, eh? I like. That's what he said. It's a little quote. It's a little Nipsey style. That's what he said.
I'm dead.
T'Challa comes back to life after being forced to drink the herb, the one that Nakia stole, and buried him in ice. But before that, he goes back to the astral plane again. But this time, he goes up to his dad. He's like, "Yo, come here, fuck boy. What the fuck did you do, man? You know what I mean?
Oh
What did you do?"
shit.
He confronts him. He said
Yeah.
he pretty much confronts all the past leaders.
Yeah.
You know, and his father just like, why are you being such bitches, man, to the rest of the world? And
Man.
T'Challa feels for the kid, dude. You left him. That's fucked.
It is fucked.
You know, which is why like T'Challa this entire time he has never really expressed his disgust or his anger towards Killmonger as
Yeah.
much as he should be,
Yeah.
because there's a sense of understanding from him. There's a sense of
Yeah.
empathy from him to be like, it's
Yeah.
shitty
He
what
was
you
trying to
went through.
He's trying to be a good man with a good heart, but not a good king,
Facts. Facts.
right? Because a good king would have been like, "Yo, shut this guy up."
Yeah, nice that, bro. He would have said that.
Yeah, yeah,
Whose
yeah,
man's is this? But he
yeah,
didn't. He said, let him
yeah,
speak, let him talk. This is
yeah,
his blood right. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah.
up to me
Ooh,
to fucking try to clap this man's, you know.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but then now
Fair
the
fight.
the plan is in motion. The weapons are being sent to London, Hong Kong, and New York. Where did we hear
Weird.
those three places from before? Oh, the sanctums. Yes, the sanctums are also located there, which is in Doctor
Interesting.
Strange. They said that it's the three main, was it powerhouses or
Yep.
places where they guard from in the whole world.
Yeah.
So does that make sense? I guess like Europe, Asia, and
Well,
America.
you say, what is it? Hong Kong, trade center of Asia.
hmm
Uh,
London,
London, trade center,
colonizers of
I
the
guess.
world. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Boo, and so, U.S. as well, because
And
it's close
yeah,
across a pond.
yeah,
So it does like make
yeah. It's kind
sense.
of like a shield around the
Yeah,
world. Um,
cool.
but then
Spread
T'Challa
out.
comes through, right? T'Challa comes through, breaks down that 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 plane,
That's
rescues the
crazy.
guy, which is nice. Um, and then he's like,
You did that? That's
"What did he
nice.
say again?" Eric, and he's like, "Sup," right? Which is like the two,
You did this.
yeah,
Sup?
sup, which is how two greetings from two different worlds, but from the same fucking
Yeah,
origins, are now clashing against each other. Wakabi's a bitch. He's a bitch
yeah,
ass
yeah.
for going
Come
against
on.
T'Challa, and Okoye
Yeah,
fights back after, Killmonger fucking slices that girl's uh, neck. You know what
that's
I'm saying?
crazy. I can't believe he did that.
Yeah. We get to see his
That's
suit for the first time. He has
yeah,
all glittered up, and his helmet has like like a
yeah.
panther kind of esque, even the little mouth.
Oh,
Really
you
cool,
go.
man. He looked really dope.
Yeah.
Um,
You know what? He went to Jacob with 25 thou.
yeah,
And he got it, you know.
he can't even pronounce some. Pass that Versace. That's what he said.
Versace. Pass that
Versace.
Versace.
The blue tribe comes in with the Kumot shields, obviously, and the armored rhinos, which are pretty cool warfare things that they have. Shuri with the double fist cannon things. Pretty
Yeah.
cool. See,
Double Panther.
I didn't know that she had weapons like that. I don't know what kind of energy those were, but
Yeah.
probably vibranium energy or whatever. And Nakia with her ring weapons. Cool,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
did she throw them?
He's like really like Inspector Gadgety kind of shit that
Yeah,
Nakia has.
yeah. They're like glowing and stuff, and they're all wearing their
Beads.
their tribal colors, right? Nakia with the green, Shuri with
Yeah, yeah.
the
I like
black
that.
and purple from the royal family.
Yeah. I like the River Tribe. The green.
The green
That's
ones,
nice.
yeah, they're
Yeah,
cool.
they're nice.
They have the lip discs.
Yo,
Um,
that is that real? Is that guy real?
no, the
Or is that
one
CG?
that's no, that's like a prop. That's like
Okay,
I think it's
okay.
just like
Right.
prosthetic.
Good.
It's just kind of go over his lip, yeah. But he was pretty. That was pretty cool. Really accurate
Yeah.
into African tribes and what they do.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, the river tribes in real Africa are known for using lip discs.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty accurate in that. Good job, Kugler. Um,
Sick.
and the Jabari, regardless of what Mbaku said after their last talk against the Chala, they decided to come in and help out, which
Yep.
is dope, man. This guy just like grabs him by the fucking
Oh my god.
like collar, like one
Str-
handed, and he's just like,
strong.
yeah, dude,
Yeah,
fucking dope, man. Let's
yeah.
go.
Come on.
I love that actor. I hope to see him in more and more
Yeah.
things. I
Yeah.
liked him in Us. I don't know if you watched that one. That was a good movie.
No.
Um, but yeah, so Jabari tribe comes through. Killmonger gets uh, sorry. So they Killmonger and Black Panther they fight, literally throwing hands as both
Yeah.
being Black Panther, all the way down to the mines. Um,
Yeah.
Now I
It's
gotta be
nuts.
honest with you here. The CGI at this point,
It looks like a cutscene from Infinite.
ooh,
You know, it's bad. Come on,
he's
like
not wrong, folks. He's not wrong.
it's pretty
Um,
bad.
I
This
mean,
is why.
it's not the absolute worst, but
Okay, but they skimmed out on it.
yeah, yeah.
You know?
I feel like yeah, that's
Yeah,
it should have been better than what it was. But for a final fight, I mean, like if this is a third act, the final confrontation, the climax of the movie, I think
yeah,
they should have paid more attention to it. Because the fight scenes up top on the ground with all the tribes people were practical and it low key looked better. By the time you go down into the vibranium mines, which is, I'm not everything was CGI at that point,
yeah,
right? Including the mines, because that's not
yeah,
a real place,
yeah,
and it takes the magic out of all the traditional tribal things that we've been
yeah,
seen so far. So I'm not totally bashing on it, but it could have been better. And if you
yeah,
think otherwise, you're just in denial.
yeah.
Yeah, like it's.
Well, here's a contrast.
Mm,
Like in the Lord of the Rings,
mm-hmm.
when they were stuck in the mountain, it's the Fellowship is stuck in the mountain,
Which movie? With the
and
first one?
then the first one, yeah,
Okay.
they're in like the tunnels of the mountains, right?
Yep.
And those like practical Hobbit kind of like scenes,
Right. Right. Yeah.
and then you see a scene where it's Gandalf versus the demon in the second one, and that was like
Oh, what's
10
his name
years.
again? Yeah. 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 Was it
The
10 years?
Balrog.
Oh, okay.
Dude,
The
like
Balrog. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Lord of the Rings was like a long time ago, like
No, I
20
mean
years
like in
ago.
between the first movie and second movie.
Oh no, no, no. I mean like,
Okay.
but just seeing, there's a budget.
Yeah.
There's a budget difference between the Peter Jackson shit
Oh, the first one
and
to the
the
second one. Yeah. Yeah.
and well, when we look at 2018 Black Panther, they could have spent a little bit more
Yeah. The
time
Balrog looked
and
pretty good.
I know like and that was how many years ago?
Yeah, that was like
Almost 20 years
2000
ago?
X. Yeah, X. That was like 2000 and
2003, 2004.
yo. Let me. What is your guess? Lock in your guess right now.
2014. No, sorry, 2003.
Ooh, Exarch.
2000.
2002. Two
Oh,
Towers.
okay.
Yeah, 2002.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's 18 years ago. And that demon scene versus,
Mm-hmm.
a practical,
Facts. Yeah.
like, looked amazing. And
Fly,
if
you
you're in,
fools. Yeah.
yeah, I had my thumb up the entire time like this.
Good job, man.
Wait, I'm probably cut off, like, right here, but stream, I had my hand resting like this.
Why?
Then I saw it
Why
in the
was it?
because I play like this, right? Yeah,
Those reverts back to Marvel.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
Come on,
There's
yo,
there's
this
movies
CGI
from
was
like 10
ass.
years ago that look way better
Yeah,
than what we were given with. But they do one hell of a fight. Trying to claw each other, going in and out of their suits, going through the sonic waves of the train, and this is where Black Panther gets the idea that this is where you expose his armor and
yeah.
stab him. He gets shanked in the heart. Boom! With the same spear that he made
Wow,
shift from the duel that they had, and he said that's a hell of a move.
that's
That's what he says
godlike
to
move.
T'Challa. But T'Challa keeps quiet because he knows that Killmonger wouldn't have known that move, knowing that he knew that the suit will close back because of the waves, and he would get a window open to stab him. But
But yeah,
this is
Killmonger
this
didn't
is
know that.
only something that a person knows from living in Wakanda, and and
Yeah,
and Killmonger was robbed of that knowledge. He was
yeah.
robbed of that tech
Wow.
simply because he wasn't there. He didn't grow up there.
Oh my God, that's actually like a deep dive into, you know, why he didn't gloat or he didn't
Yeah,
feel the
Yeah, he didn't be like, oh, because fucking sound waves, idiot. He didn't say that. Dumbass. You know what I mean? But it's
Oh man,
also tragic of
yeah,
how this is how Killmonger, as a world known warrior, was defeated
goes
because of
down. Yeah,
something he didn't
because
know from his own land, from his own country.
yeah, it was an away game.
Facts. Home
Yeah,
advantage, man. He
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
make the free throw. Got stabbed instead.
Yeah. He didn't know that the net was actually 10.5 feet. So all his threes were like bricking,
Ooh,
you
Ben
know?
Simmons.
Rip.
Yeah,
Are
and
they out?
yeah, Sixers are out, I believe.
Rip.
Um, and T'Challa takes him to see the sunset. His father
I'd
promised
like.
him to show, which is super sentimental. He said before, when he was king, he said the sun won't set on this empire, meaning his empire, meaning it ended before the sun could set,
Yeah.
which is where he was.
Wow.
He kind of
Wow.
foreshadowed his own death there a little bit. And Killmonger, man, is such a good villain. And even then, saying the word villain is kind of like overstating that a bit because
Yeah.
a lot of his anger and a lot of his emotions were justified. That's how he felt. And it's like the same thing with the riots now, where it's like, if you are not black, you have no say whether they should be protesting or not.
Yeah.
You know, like this is not like if people said, "Do you agree with the protest or do you not agree?" I said, "I do agree, but like my opinion doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's to
Like,
them."
why are you asking me because you want, you know,
Yeah,
validation for your
yeah.
whatever thoughts you have?
I don't know what kind of
Like,
shit you're stirring, but like,
yeah, yeah,
this is
yeah,
definitely something that the black people have no 100% say in it, on whether they should be protesting or not, and how they should be protesting is also up to them and not
yeah,
you.
yeah. Like,
Do you agree with the riots? I agree. If the black people agree, yeah, sure.
yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean,
This
like, you guys know what you did to them. You guys know what you're doing to them.
facts, dude. Facts,
No,
dude. It's like, oh my god, the
because
tiger tried to bit my arm. Why? What'd you do? Well, I tried to like prong him. Well, then the fuck kind of
yeah. Come
bullshit.
on,
You know
guys.
what I mean? Like
Come on, come on, white
ridiculous.
people.
And then this is
Come
where
on.
Killmonger said he wants to be buried in the ocean where his ancestors jumped ship, knowing death was better than bondage, right? Slavery. Um, and yes, there are many stories of slave ships coming back to America with less slaves than they have on it because slowly along the way they realized what they signed up for or what they
Yeah,
not necessarily signed up for, but what was happening to them. The
yeah,
promises were empty. You know that people would say like, "Oh, they signed up for slavery." Sure, whatever, maybe they did, but the promises are probably are most likely false for them to be tricked to go on that ship. For them to go like, "Oh, we were promised riches, we were promised a better life," maybe
yeah.
not knowing that they were just there to be traded and sold as slaves. Fucked up, man.
Wow,
Fucked up.
that's fucked up.
Yeah,
What kind of people, man?
you know who you are.
Yeah, you guys know who you are. You
Um.
fucking.
Uh. Anyways, Killmonger passes away. He takes out um just the sword, I guess the spear from his chest, and he bleeds out. A sad end to such a good villain. And we cut back into the tribes, and we see that M'Baku has joined, and he's finally welcome within the committee. He's part. He joined the group chat. You know,
Nice,
M'Baku has
nice,
joined the Wakandan chat. They're like, "What up? What up? What up? I'm gonna send you some memes." That's what he did.
nice, nice. And they put it on mute right away.
Yo, that disrespect, bro.
For sure. He's like, I don't want this. For sure.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? kind of liked it better. It was just me. And then the ending scene is T'Challa visiting the neighborhood where his uncle was killed and is now building a Wakandan outreach center, finally showing the world who they are. This relates to the mid credit scene where they present themselves in the UN, people kind of giggling and snickering, trying to figure out what they have to offer. But General or Agent Ross knows what's up. Shout outs to him for not saying a word and for
Yeah.
helping them. And
Yeah.
uh, at the end where the kid was like, "Who are you?" You know, he wanted to say "I'm Iron Man" there for a little bit, or like "I am Black Panther," but I feel like he doesn't need to. I feel
Man.
like this is something that they're gonna eventually know.
Yeah.
And the
You'll
secret
see.
ending is, of course, Sergeant Buchanan Barnes
Yep.
waking up. I woke up like this. That's what he said. And
Oh.
the White Wolf, as his new name, I guess, the Winter Soldier. It's kind of like like a bad brand now to
Yeah. That's a
wear.
dead name.
It's a
That's a
dead
dead
name.
name for him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's like, who the hell is Winter Soldier? That's what he said.
He took off his toga and he's like, "Who the hell is Winch?"
Yeah, and then Maz need a hand. That's pretty much it. He woke up, and we don't get to see the arm later on, but that secret ending was a little underwhelming. It feels like it's for
Yeah.
people who
Like.
love Sebastian Stan. But yeah, that
Yeah.
that's pretty much Black Panther, man. And I still have a couple or a few um, notes here, but I'm pretty sure they're not really anything. Stanley cameos as a gambler in the private casino.
Yeah.
Uh, T'Challa says the term "for Bast's sake," which is like "for God's sake."
Yeah.
Pretty hilarious.
Like Boss the Panther God.
Yeah, pretty Bast the
Or
Panther God. And
uh.
Jabari, what's his name? Baku says that to glory to Aruman, which is the monkey god for them.
Ooh.
Pretty cool. Uh,
Anuman.
yeah, yeah. Aruman or something like that. Maybe it's
Nice. That's
Saruman,
cool.
the
Ooh.
wizard.
The White
Uh,
Wizard.
Yo, wizard Mbaku.
Ooh.
When Bilbo wakes up, he asks if he's in Wakanda. Shuri says, "No, this is Kansas." This is a reference from the Wizard of Oz.
Nice.
Pretty funny. The Queen's hair reminds me of Aurora. Da, da, da. The bottom of the Jets. Yep, that's pretty much it. So yeah, guys, let us know how much you enjoyed Black Panther, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have probably rewatched this recently, because of the recent passing of Chadwick Boseman.
Yep. Rest
But
in
for me,
peace.
I give it a solid 7.5 out of 10.
Yes. Same.
I
Same.
feel like it's a justified rating. Obviously the narrative is amazing. It
Yeah.
shows us two tales of two people who came from the same bloodline but lived in two different environments and what became of them because of those said environments. And it also relates to current events of what's happening and social issues that we are still handling on a daily basis, even though this is not something that we should even be discussing anymore. We should be
Yeah.
in harmony,
Jesus.
right?
Jesus.
Um, for any colored person out there, and especially black people, this movie will resonate with you a lot more than the pale people. And I'm not bashing on white people, right? I'm not. There's a lot of good white people out there. Um, it's just that the history was always written by you guys, and we're
Yeah.
finding out that a lot of those things are not true.
Yeah.
And
I mean, yeah.
yeah, and a lot of these slave owners, past slave owners, were glorified for
Yeah.
ages, years
Yeah.
and years and years, and
Yep.
it's time to make a change. It's time to accept the sins of the nation.
Yeah.
It's something I never understood. Right? If Germany could accept the fact that they did something horrible and
Yeah.
insidious and sinister and build around that and not
Yeah.
deny
Yeah.
it, how why can't America or why can't Canada do the same thing?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Instead of
Yeah.
calling it Thanksgiving, why don't you just call it Thanks First Nations? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? You know,
Yeah.
don't think about the land that you have. Thank the First Nations for, you know, not for giving us this land, or not giving us this land, but like taking care of this land. You know, you gotta thank something, right?
Yeah. It was a fucking amazing place when they were
Mhm.
taking care of this land. They knew all the nuances of the seasons and like the wildlife. Come on,
Yeah,
like, and we have
colonizers had to come in
Burger
and
King now.
fucking,
Yeah,
which is dope. You know,
yeah, but it's not made out of bison.
can be,
It
but they
should
did.
be.
They shouldn't be because they actually cleansed a shitload of the bisons back then, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
They eat a bison, but like not every day.
I think they made use of like a lot of the different parts of the bison, like the guts for water bottles and
Ooh,
you
cool.
know, and like the fur for uh, clothing and winter protection and
Yeah, of
you
course.
know
Yeah,
insulation.
yeah,
It's
for
just like
sure.
you know, what's that? There's a term for that
What is it?
in the chef world. It's like
For what? Like, what are you doing?
nose to tail, like a nose to tail
Oh, like using every single
approach.
part of the
Yeah,
animal
yeah,
for a dish or for pretty much anything, right? Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
But this is
yeah.
like clothing and like you know, and further functions for human living.
Absolutely, man. I mean,
Yeah,
for this is why back then the oxtail was like considered as like scrap meat. You know,
yeah.
the black communities use it to make, and then now it's like one of the most expensive things that you have
I
to
know.
buy,
It's
right?
bullshit.
Because they don't know the
Bullshit.
potential, man.
Yeah,
What I mean, uh,
yeah,
colored people fucking found that potential a long time ago because they didn't know,
yeah.
they didn't want to waste anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
Uh, but same thing with
man.
a lot of things, right? Brisket too. Brisket back then, people didn't really know how to cook it, so it was cheaper.
Yep.
Now people know how to cook it. It's like mad expensive.
Oh my god, $30 per pound. Are you serious,
I
Stream?
would like some brisket right now, actually.
Yeah, Adamson's. Oh, you should order from Backyard
Adamson's.
Barbecue.
What?
Or, Backyard. They changed the name. Usok changed their name.
Oh, what is it now?
Uh, Backyard Barbecue something.
Is it? I don't think I have them.
Well, if you followed Usok before, then they just changed the name. And I
Oh, I
think
see.
yeah, it's chocolate
Hey,
helping as well now.
nice.
Yeah, so it should be more frequent. It seems, and they're doing a smoke for Thursday.
I see it one day ago.
It's Thursday, I think. Oh
Oh,
shit,
that's
that's on
cool.
third. Nice.
I didn't even know. I don't really check my Instagram.
I know you blow up with other stuff.
No, it's just like no, it's just like I just like I come in, I post, and I leave.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
I don't lurk. Like I don't go through
yeah.
posts
I know.
or stories or anything like that. So I just hit 3K, guys. If you don't know, follow me up.
Oh yeah, that's
Um,
awesome.
but yeah, guys, that is our analysis for Black Panther 2018, directed by Ryan Coogler. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you like it. Let us know if
Hmm?
you hate it. Let us know if we said something wrong, something inaccurate. But if you have something bad to say, I need you to
Hmm.
like type it in a comment and then jump out your window because nobody
Yeah,
wants
yeah,
to
yeah.
see that shit.
That's the
Okay?
way. That is the way to go.
Yeah. Um,
Do it. Leave us alone.
leave leave us alone. But don't go anywhere because next week is gonna be a doozy.
Oh, what's gonna be next week?
because we are finally going to be rewatching and analyzing one of the
Ooh,
biggest movies in 2018, Avengers Infinity War, baby. So,
ridiculous.
you already know there's going to be a ton of content with that movie in
Yep,
itself.
yep.
And I hope you're ready because I don't think I am yet. And I still
I'm
need
not
to.
ready.
I'm not
I have to get edibles. I have to get edibles.
for that recording.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I can make edibles actually. Yeah,
You know
I
what?
think
You
it
know
will.
what? I'm gonna do that too. I feel like I should get edibles as well. I mean, I don't condone that type of stuff. I'm
I
sorry.
mean, eat whatever you
Uh,
like.
yes.
Stream.
Eat whatever you eat. Whatever you
Eat whatever you like. That's
technically
fine.
eat whatever you like. Yeah, exactly. Until next time, guys. See ya. Peace.